Hello, it's the Travelling Comic here and welcome back to the channel. Yep, you're right, I'm not on a ship, I'm actually on my motorbike. And I thought what I'd do today is, because I have a little job to do in Belfast, take you with me and show you some of the landmarks that I'll be passing by. So, if you think that's something that you'd like to see, well, then you know what you've got to do. Keep watching. By the way, Happy New Year, because when you're watching this, it'll be January. Now, just as we cross over the River Lagan, the first thing I'm going to show you, it's on my left-hand side. It's referred to as Nula with a Hula. Its actually official name is Beacon of Hope. £300,000 worth of public art there. It's a lady holding a hoop above her head. It was, I think it was unveiled around 2006. The architect was a guy called Andy Scott. There's another, what do we call it? Another installation similar to that. Well, it's not similar, but it was put up at the same time to make Belfast seem great, which will not be passing, and that's called the Balls at the Falls. That's for another day. Now, on my right, coming down here, is the law courts, or the Royal Courts of Justice in Belfast, and on my left is the Waterfront Hall. Now, the Waterfront Hall seats, I think it's something like 2,000 people. I have performed in it. That's it there. There's the Waterfront Hall. 2,200, opened about 1997, and there's the Royal Courts of Justice on the right-hand side, which I hope none of you ever have to go to. Anyway, we're swinging around right here now, as you can see. Now, on the left, that is the St. George's Market. I suppose that's the back of the markets, because the entrance is at the other side. All sorts of things happen in there, but I think from memory it's only open on maybe a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, although some of you people that are from Belfast who know more than me will probably correct me on that very shortly. Now, that bus, as you see going past me, is known as the Glider. We don't have trams in Belfast, but we have a thing that looks a bit like a tram. Some people refer to it as a slider. Anyway, if you have some antiques that you want to buy, or if you think you fancy selling some, there's the auction rooms on the right-hand side belonging to John Ross & Co. I think they actually featured in the Antiques Roadshow. I'm not 1,000% sure. Again, I'm sure I'll be corrected. Anyway, we're heading on up. If you can see the green dome ahead, or the green domes, that is Belfast City Hall. And what I'll do is, because I'm on the bike and I'm allowed into the bus lanes, I'll go right round it. Now, I have again performed in there. I've done after dinner speaking in there, and those two guys with the yellow high-vis vests are sort of standing at the entrance. And it's always a bit of a buzz, you know, when you're invited into there and you swing your car around, that they have you on their list and they say, yeah, come on ahead on in. I often think it's probably a bit like driving into or under the portico into Buckingham Palace, or maybe that's me just getting carried away. But anyway, the City Hall construction started around 1898 and it was completed in 1906. It's a Grade A listed building and a fabulous building. Now, that semicircle there, that's the cenotaph. I'm going to swing around right here. It's the first time I've ever driven around here, because you're not allowed in a car. I'm on a bike, so I'm not really riding. That's the cenotaph. There we now have, which would be the west wing, because the front of it faces north, and so therefore that's the west wing. As you can see, the grounds are where we have the Belfast Christmas market, and I'm recording this just between Christmas and the New Year, and the market is closed and they're starting to take it down. The City Hall, it was commissioned to replace the old Town Hall on Victoria Street. So there it is. It's quite a beautiful building. I often tell the people when they come on the ships, because the shuttle bus leaves them off just opposite it, just roughly where I am now, and I say, if you need to go to the toilet, go into the City Hall. One of the best places to go to the toilet if you're stuck. Anyway, we'll swing on around here. I'll shut up just for a minute to let you see that beautiful building. I think it's stunning. There's also a memorial to the Titanic victims, I think, in that garden, which would be the East Garden. And I'm back round at the back of it now. There's one of the open top buses. One time I had nothing to do and I got on one. Maybe it's not an open top bus, just to see it red. Anyway, forget about that. Well, anyway, yes, I did get on it. There you go. Just to hear what they were saying. I'm going to swing left here up Bedford Street. That high-rise building on the right there is the new hotel, or the latest hotel in Belfast. And really what I'm coming down here for, well, it's on the way to where I'm going, but the grey building that you can see now is the Ulster Hall, and that's where I'm performing my last ever Our Jimmy show on the 13th of February in there in the iconic Ulster Hall. The building is synonymous with all sorts of things, but up above it is a group theatre where the original James Young performed for many, many years. Now, straight ahead of me here, those of you that are watching carefully will see that that is the BBC. Many times I went through those doors, and there was a broadcaster said it's your BBC to try to get in. I recorded lots of radio shows in there. Now, we're a little further on. The next building I'm going to show you is going to be Queen's University in Belfast. I think there's something like I don't know, is it 2,000 of a staff, something like that, 2,000 of a staff, and maybe 28,000 students or thereabouts. Again, another fabulous building. I think that's beautiful, personally. I never went to Queen's. I never went to university. But that's Queen's University. And I think that's the Whitla Hall. I'm right in saying that. Now, we have in Belfast Leaning Tower. This is the Albert Clock. There was actually a competition to build this clock, and the guy that won it wasn't awarded the building of it. And then there was a bit of a furore, and they got the building of it. It's leaning at an angle of 1.5 meters, I think it is. You maybe can see the lean there. The same guy that built the City Hall built the Albert Clock. W.J. Barry from memory. Anyway, swinging on around right here now. That building, that nice building that you can see on my right now, that is, again, I've performed in there. That's the Harbour Commissioner's Office. Because years and years and years ago, the water used to be right up to here. So I'm now riding on reclaimed land from the River Lagan. The Harbour Commissioner's Office there on the back of it on my right hand side. Now, what we'll do is we'll cross back over the River Lagan, and we'll go round to the Odyssey, or the SSE Arena. Again, it's an indoor stadium, 10,000 seats. It's where the ice hockey is played. That tall building, incidentally, that you can see there, is the tallest building in Belfast, the Oval building. In fact, it's the tallest building in Ireland, as in, a high-rise sort of a building, if you understand what I mean. But anyway, the Odyssey Arena that we're coming around to, capacity of 10, maybe it's 11,000, opened in December 2000. The Belfast Giants play there, and if there's any big stars coming over to do concerts or shows, arena tours, it's the SSE Arena. There's the Oval Tower again for you there on my left. And on round under the bridge, and you will see the Odyssey Arena, or it's now the SSE Arena. There you go. That's the start of it there. Let's get around this little roundabout. It hosts, as I say, ice hockey matches, ice shows, music, comedy events. I'm not big enough to fill it. Incidentally, during the pandemic, that was where everybody came in the Belfast area to get their jabs, their boosters. And in the car park over on the right-hand side of where you came to get tested. I know that because during the pandemic, I actually worked for a few short months in the test centre. People would come in and you'd have to talk to me on the telephone, and I'd tell you what was going to happen and what you had to do and where you had to put the thing up your nose. What do you call it? Like the swab up your nose, down your throat, and then up your nose. Got to get that right. Anyway, that's the Odyssey Arena behind me. Now again, I'm going to swing around left, and this time take you round to the Titanic Museum. It's a fabulous visitor attraction here in Northern Ireland. Opened in 2012. A monument, of course, to the maritime heritage here. And it's where RMS Titanic was built. It tells the story of the Titanic, and that sank, as you know, in 1912. But before that, there is one of the original Titanic ship's tenders. The what do we call it? The name just eludes me at the minute. Normatic, there you go. That took passengers out. Now there is the Titanic Centre that you can see, like 4 hulls of a ship. I would love to think that those are the same height as the Titanic. I'm not really sure that they are. The red building is it's now the hotel, Titanic Hotel. Nice to go for a meal if you want. That was the original drawing office where the Titanic was, well, obviously the plans were drawn in there. So it's intended, the centre there, to serve a similar function as the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. Now there's the mighty crane, one of the mighty cranes of Harland and Wolff shipyard. They're referred to, well, they're named, not only referred to as Samson and Goliath. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, this building on my left coming up here is what was the paint shop, I think, from the shipyard. It's now a sound stage. Lots of movies and stuffs, whatever you use a sound stage for. Game of Thrones, a lot of it was shot in there. Used to drive past here and see all sort of monsters and things. And over on the right, on my right hand side now, the very last series was filmed. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I have got my little job done. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please do hit the subscribe. I know it's something a little bit different to usual. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up if you like it. And there's lots more videos to come in this particular year that we're now in 2025. I head back to the ships in a couple of weeks' time. And as usual, I'll be taking you around the ships. I'll be taking you ashore. And when I'm at home on the bike, I'll be doing bike rides with proper audio through my helmet as opposed to the voiceover. Maybe I should change the logo when I'm doing these bike ones instead of a ship. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.